Hey everyone, welcome to the other 98% podcast. I'm Ryan Grondin, the worst arm wrestler in the world.
And I am Warren Raber, aka the Iron Giant. And tonight, for our very first podcast, we have a very special guest for everybody. None other than the Aussie Armwrestler himself, Jake Ward. Ready, bang!
Perfect. Ready, bang! Gentlemen, very excited to be the very first guest of the show. Really excited what you guys are doing. You're giving a voice to the voiceless, the other people out there, and because of the other 98%, we're just as important as the 2%. Without us, they don't become the 2%. I mean, hopefully one day the three of us can transition into there. But at the moment, I am a huge fan and very honoured to be a part of this 98% and the very first guest. Absolutely honoured.
Well, thank you for being here.
We totally appreciate you doing this, man.
We're both very big fans of yours.
Huge fans, obviously. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
So let's get the basics out of the way first, if you don't mind. Let's start with how long you've been arm wrestling.
How long have I been an arm wrestler? Not that long. Not that long. I grew up playing basketball and Aussie rules footy over here. Been a lifelong fan. If you're born in the mid-'80s like I am, it's over the top or nothing. You know, I say it all the time, all you young kids out there or new pullers, if you have not watched the greatest movie ever, do your homework. Go and watch it. But then once my body broke down and I just physically couldn't do those two sports anymore, it was an easy transition. So I've only been training for about 2 years.
Now, you played professional basketball in your early 20s in England, didn't you?
They're nice glasses. I quite like them. Played a little bit over there. Lasted about 8 games. 8 games in England, and then it just all fell apart. And I came back to Australia and moved away from basketball and just played local Aussie rules footy.
Now, what position did you play in basketball?
I was a shooting guard.
Okay.
I'm all about hitting the big threes. It's all about glory.
Yeah. Well, I played high school basketball myself, and at a very young age, I was about my height now at 6'5.5". So I played a little bit of power forward and center.
Well, so, yeah, I'm only 5'10.5". So there was no way I was going in with you, big guy. So I just had to learn to step back. Step back.
Get a jumper.
Yeah,
man, it's less work and more points in the free ball. So I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Who knew those tall guys would make good arm wrestlers as well?
Not saying I'm good, but thanks. Appreciate that.
You have the genetics.
I'm getting there.
How old are you?
Just turned 36.
Ooh.
December 20th. Just turned 36, 1984, baby. So, started, 34 years old, I think, or just before my 34th birthday at a local club, the House of Pain in Melbourne. Shout out to you guys. They're fantastic. Yeah, so I'm a spring chicken.
What weight class are you in?
I am working my way down. I've had some surgeries and things like that. So I was sitting around 98 kilos, which, what's that,
That's like
215?
210, 215, I think, over here. Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
My weight. That's my weight class.
Yeah. So I've dropped right down because at 5'10.5" and not muscly at all, I'm too small. I'm too small for the heavies. So slowly working my way down. This morning I weighed in at 92 kilos, and I feel comfortable at about 85 kilos. So I'm going to aim to sit around there, and then it'll give me an opportunity. If I feel comfortable, I'll stay, in the 190 pound range, or if I feel like taking on, the lighter guys, it's an easy weight cut.
Yeah. Like guys like you and Ryan Bowen and Lachlan Adair and the Reacher. Like here in America, like you guys have put like Australia on the map. You know?
Yeah, it all starts with Ryan. Very, very grateful for Ryan. So Ryan, Lachlan and Jordan are his mates, really good mates. So why not put them over? I think that's cool. And they've become phenomenal arm wrestlers where Jordan was the reacher. I call him the reach around. He's a very natural arm wrestler. The tall dude like you, Warren, very tall dude.
Yeah.
Might even be the same height, maybe a bit shorter, maybe 6'3", where Lachlan come from a powerlifting sense and is just naturally strong. He looked in phenomenal shape at the moment. Saw all three of them about a month ago. I flew up there for some state titles, but Ryan was a huge influence in promoting me. He didn't have to. He didn't have to at all, but he was one of the first, we'll say the other 2% that were really like, hey, I can't believe I've never seen this guy before. Go check out this guy. And yeah, we just kept in contact like you guys. You just message people and you get a response. And Ryan has been nothing but a huge support. He was my inaugural guest on my podcast. Like, I'm very grateful to be on this one. So yeah, and the fact that you are mentioning me in that same sentence in putting Australia on the map, and you know, not only it gives me a smile, that makes my balls tingle. That's so cool. You know,
it's true though. You know,
yeah, it's very, very, very humbling. Very humbling to say the least. Warren, get a beer next time. Get a beer.
I don't have any
healthy champion.
Look, I don't keep this 8% body fat drinking beer, okay?
8%, man, that's awesome. That's so good.
Thank you.
You don't become the worst arm wrestler in the world by not drinking beer.
That's right.
God.
I've got to keep an eye on you, Warren. You look like you're trying to climb into that 2%.
Look, I'll put it to you like this, Jake. I appreciate that. I do. You know, I am a very competitive guy. Like I said, I played high school sports, and once I got out of high school, you know, I kept myself busy with like the local things that we had going on in my area here, like, you know, like flag football teams, softball teams, things of that nature, just to, you know, old man sports, you know, for the older guys. And then about 2011, it was 2011, I tore my ACL and my meniscus. And that was it. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. I'm just like you. You know, I want to stay competitive. And this is
nothing wrong with that, my man. Nothing wrong with that at all.
You know. So if I make it to that pinnacle, cool. But you know, I just knowing me, I want to be the best at what I do, or considered one of the best. You know, so we'll see.
I just ask you guys be the second best at podcasts. That's all I ask. Don't take that from me.
That'll be easy. That'll be easy.
No problem. We got that covered.
all we need is one more here, and we can compete with Neil and them.
The real fix is here.
So let me get this right. You played basketball. You arm wrestle.
Yep.
And from what I understand, you had a little stint wrestling where you actually wrestled a midget.
Oh, man. Absolutely. Jermaine Boom was my wrestling name. It was magnificent. Played a heel. I am a huge old school wrestling fan since I was about 6 months old. My older brother bought me one of those figures. You'll see him in some of my collection in the background of some of my videos. I love that old school thing. You know, Hulk Hogan was my idol growing up. You know, because of him, I ate vegetables. My mum would always trick me. If you want to grow up big and strong, you know, you got to eat your veggies like Hulk Hogan. So I scoffed them away. Turns out, genetics, going to the gym, a whole heap of steroids will get you, you know, 6'6", 300 pounds like Hulk Hogan. Not just my broccoli, Mum. Not just my broccoli.
Tricky.
I'm a guy that will just I will try anything. There's something that I want to do, and I'll absolutely try it. Wanted to play basketball, always wanted to do wrestling, wanted to try it. You know, jumped on the Google machine, wrestling school up the road. Let's go take some bumps. Beautiful. Nice. I want to do that. You know, love giving people a body slam, slicking the elbow back, dropping an elbow. It was some of the most fun I've ever had.
Hey, Jake, I don't mean to cut you off there, man, but speaking of elbow drops, I heard that you were on a game show and you happened to elbow drop somebody on that show.
Yeah, Millionaire Hot Seat.
Millionaire
and
Hot
you
Seat,
elbow dropped Eddie McGuire.
That's right. That's what I do. I'm an opportunist.
We do our homework. So we do our homework here.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's so good. And that's what will make your show elite if you do your research. So once again, just taking advantage of that opportunity. My wife and I were sitting somewhere. I think it was just a regular checkup at the doctor's or something. And it was on the TV to audition for the show. So I was like, let's go. Bang. Audition. Nailed the audition. So like, of course, you're going to come on the show. And then I was like, once the camera's on me, I feel bad for everyone else on that show. You are getting no TV time. And you've got to fill out forms and things like that. And I'm like, beauty. Everyone finds arm wrestling funny. People find it interesting that I was a wrestler. I'm putting it out there. So, and if you feed the host, he'll give it to you back. And which was really good. And then we'll muck it around. He was getting me in headlocks and things like that. And he lied down on the ground. He was on the ground. Now, he hadn't done that ever in 20 years of the show. He wears suits that are worth more than my house. This guy, Eddie McGuire in Australia, is the pinnacle. Owns sports teams and things like that. Fantastic guy.
Okay.
And so, so I pretended to give him an elbow drop, but I just had hip surgery maybe 4 weeks prior. So I couldn't go down. I pretended to. But yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome going on that game show. I'm addicted to game shows. I'm a game show nerd, board game nerd, love all that stuff.
You seem like you might be a tad bit injury prone.
Yeah, a little bit. Currently.
I heard you broke your nose playing football and you kept on playing and then you dislocated your shoulder.
It was the best third quarter of my life. We were playing up the road, and it's a bit of a ugly league that I was playing in. You know, you get away with cold-blooded murder. And I was running. Anyway, we give off a thing we call a handball, where you punch the ball forward, give off a handball, and you can block someone. We call it a shepherd, and you can block someone. Anyway, blocked it, and then this bloke's just gone whack from behind, and he's just smeared my nose across my face. So I had a look, and it wasn't bleeding too bad. And I was like, well, it's broken. Can't get any more broken. So I kept running, and then ended up snagging a goal and going bang, kicking a goal with the nose, a little bit to the left. And then it was getting a bit too much and it was bleeding too much. I thought, I better go get this checked out. Go running to the bench. And just as I get to the bench, guy from the other team has the ball, and I grab him and I tackle him. And I'm lying there like a turtle on its shell. I'm like, I can't get up. Anyway, I tackled him down. I'm on my left side. I'm like, I can't get up. Call my mate over. Can you help me up? And he helps me up. And I just hear the crowd go, oh.
Oh, no.
And then because I've played in this league a lot, so I'm pretty well known. And the crowd are just going nuts. Stop it with the free kick. This, that, and the other. And they're dropping everything, because we're playing away. And anyway, I turn to give it a bit back, and then they can see my shoulders, down and to the left out here.
Oh,
and so off to the hospital I went, but it was a great third quarter.
It looks like everything's back in place now.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
There's if you could duct tape my body and holding it together, I would. That's why I'm a fan of the Kins move, because like my right hip needs replacing, my left hip is sore, both my knees are shot. I've got chronic tendonitis in my left Achilles. So arm wrestling's probably the worst thing to come into for everything that I got. But like you guys, like you, Warren, you love competing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been competing every week since I was like 10. So it's hard to not compete. And that's probably the only frustrating thing I find about arm wrestling. It's not a weekly thing. Warren, you're saying before you play basketball, and you know that's every week. And you'll have your off season, and then you have your preseason to get forward. But you've got your bulk 40 weeks or 35 weeks of competing. And in arm wrestling, I mean, we didn't even get to compete last year. I competed once in a year, and that doesn't just sit well with me. It got messy here in our household when we were playing Uno and card games, because I was just like, my poor wife, I'm just like, I need to compete. I'm trying to play cards, and I'm throwing them like ninja stars when I lose, because my wife always beats me. So yeah, that's just the way it is.
Now, something a lot of people might not know, you do a lot of stuff for charity too. You did a 1,500 kilometer run and raised what, $100,000?
Yeah. So
and proposed to your wife at the end of the race.
hang on, man.
Yeah?
I love how, because I try and do some research myself. I love how, because we're talking about sports and it's all fun, it's called research. But if I asked you out on a date, it's called stalking. Come on now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
Yeah, like if you guys, slid into my DMs, like a confident spammer, it's like, oh, hey man, I noticed you did this and you did this and you did this, and you want to go out for dinner, and you're like, oh, this guy's stalking me, but because we're having a chat, things like that.
Well, so that you don't think we're stalkers, we had a little help with some of these questions from your wife.
Yeah.
She gave us some information behind your back.
No!
Yes.
Oh my God! Wow. Where do I start? First of all, two strange blokes are sliding into my wife's DMs. No, that's fantastic.
She was more than happy to help us out.
It was all Ryan. Ryan was doing this. He's the one that slid in the DMs. It wasn't me, buddy.
Wow.
She was so nice about it and was like, absolutely. And she gave us all this information.
Yeah, my wife, man. Any time I can speak about my wife, I am over the moon. I love my wife more than anything in the world. She's an absolute gem, and I love that she's more, because she's energetic like myself. She's up and about and just all about, because it's more fun being nice, man. It's more fun. And she's just an absolute, and without her, the Aussie Armwrestlers not happening. Without her support.
Right.
Going back to the charity, I'm a natural idiot. Like everyone, we've all been touched by that horrible cancer and things like that. And I'd lost some family members, and my mum would do some fundraisers and things like that. And we'd have big fun events at our home, and she'd raise a few $1,000s, and she was getting a little bit unwell and a little bit tired from it all. It'd take her all year to plan. So I was like, give me the reins. And I was like, I'm not really good at anything. What can I do? What can I do something that will stand out? And playing Aussie rules footy, people would just be like, man, you don't stop running. And I was like, well, we've got to win. So worked out I had a knack for running, just not giving up. So then, so did 2 previous runs before that and raised a bit of money. And I was like, I reckon I've got one more left in me. And I basically, it's almost from Blue's house to my house. Now, I didn't know Ryan back. It was about 4 or 5 years ago now I did the run. But that, if you ever look on a map and look up Gold Coast to roughly Melbourne, I'm a bit southeast of Melbourne. Yeah, 1,500 kilometres, 50 Ks a day, every single day, 30 days straight. Wow. It was, now you guys work on Fahrenheit, we work on Celsius here. So it was minimum 32 degrees Celsius. So it was very hot every day.
Yeah.
And then the little, got to raise a bit of money and did a little sneaky surprise, and even though I was absolutely shot and there was no way I could kneel down, somehow did it. And yeah, lucky enough that my wife said yes. But yeah, love doing some charity work when I can. Just love people, man. Just love helping people. Just whether it's making them laugh with the Aussie arm wrestler, or just helping with other bits and pieces. Yeah, man. It's more fun helping people, man. That's all we need to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
Huge points on sneaking and asking my wife questions. Huge point. Rate that very highly.
I think she liked the idea too much. She was like,
a little
because
bit.
I kind of worded it like, is there anything that we could throw at them that would make them like basically say, how the fuck did these guys know all this?
Yeah.
So she was very happy to give us some information.
Oh yeah, my wife loves stitching me up. She loves it. It's a constant laugh at our house, where it's just all fun here. 5 years we've been together, 3 years married on Tuesday, and it's just been nothing but fun. So
Awesome.
I'd be disappointed. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed if you guys asked her and she said, "Oh no, I don't want to do it." So like, I know she would absolutely get in there, and huge rate that, man. That's awesome.
That's great, man. I'm glad that worked out, because it was funny to get this information, because you were probably wondering like, where are they getting this information? It might not be out there like readily.
I've got it bits and pieces, but when you type it in, it's not the first thing that comes up.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's so cool.
Now, since we're talking arm wrestling, do you have some arm wrestlers that were really like influential that you looked up to, or that really excited you to get into the sport?
Sylvester Stallone, Lincoln Hawk, over the top was the number one. He was the one that kept me interested in the sport. And then,
which is one of your favorite movies, along with Karate Kid and Die Hard.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I second the Die Hard. I'll put it to you like this: it's not Christmas if I can't watch Die Hard. And I don't care what anybody says. Die Hard
is a Christmas
movie, and it's not officially Christmas until I see Hans Gruber plummeting from Nakatomi Tower. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I even have a children's Christmas book of Die Hard. I have the Die Hard board game. We watch a lot of Christmas movies, and my wife knows, because my birthday is like 5 days before Christmas, and on my birthday we're watching John McClane save the Nakatomi Plaza.
Absolutely.
Every year.
Absolutely.
Every year. But as for influential, that kept me in the sport. And then just watching it, I wouldn't say anyone was really influential and hooked me. Like, I'm a huge sports fan. I think Arm Wars and the WAL pulled me back in after, because when you're teenage years, I'm watching NBA and I'm watching the AFL and watching every other sport. But Neil Pickup's commentary, I was like, these guys are pulling in a shopping center in Manchester, and I know the exact shopping center because I used to go there.
That's cool.
So I was like, spewing it wasn't there when I was there. And then the WAL, the spectacle of it, because I love all of that, even though not many people do. So I love a big spectacle show when it comes to arm wrestling. So there's really no specific pull that influenced me and wants me to lean in that direction. Now I've got the pullers that I love and I love watching, and if I can't really aspire myself to be like any of those pullers, because I have to pull like me, which isn't very well, but I have to pull like me because, as mentioned before, my body's shot. Yeah. So it would be cool to have an amazing side pressure like Todd Hutchings, but my hips don't bend that way. It would be cool to be unmovable in the King's Movement Michael Todd, but getting under can be difficult. So I've got to find my groove and niche. But at the moment, as a fan, man, I love so many pullers. So entertaining. Even love watching novice and amateur and semi-pro matches. I love watching any type of arm wrestling.
That's great.
Same. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's funny because like what you were just touching on, like sometimes like, like you'll be at some big practice or something and like some elite level 2%er will come up and be like, no, you need to do this. And it's like, I've been trying to do that for the last half hour. I'm just not strong enough to do that to this guy, but they make it seem so easy. Like you're not trying hard enough or so, you know what I mean? And it's like, they're trying to make adjustments to you and you're like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that yet.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Cause, and it's funny. Yeah. Cause I think the best advice I ever got was from Devon. He came to Australia a couple of years ago. And I was just like, man, like, what should an amateur like me who's about to have his first super match do? And he's like, just get stronger. He's like, I was more like, get stronger. And I was like, yeah. I was like, that's the only thing to do. Yeah, because you can get advice and move this way and move that way. But yeah, once you find your groove, then those micro adjustments will kick in. But yeah, you guys aren't going to pull like me. I'm not going to pull like you. We're different. Like, I can't pull like I'm 6'5". Yeah. I can't pull like I've got 600 resistance bands on me. I got to pull like someone like 98% of my body doesn't work. That's what I got to work.
You're just out there trying to survive.
Just hold on.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just lucky I'm a better commentator than I am puller.
Now, would you give that same advice that Devin gave you to, say, a new puller that was asking you the same question?
So I like coaching. So we have this one guy at our so when I first started at my club, we had like 7 people. And the bigger and stronger guys didn't want to really pull me because I was so weak. And this one guy would always give me some table time and things like that. So I tried to help him out, and I would take the new guys coming in, and I absolutely love it. For me, I would tell new pullers to be consistent. Start off being consistent. That's what it'd be. Like if you wanna come and come and arm wrestle, like you got to keep turning up. Don't turn up once a fortnight. Don't turn up once a month to table time. If we're having it once a week, you got to come every week, and then go and then do the same motions. That's what it'd be. Get the technique right. Then we'll work on getting stronger. So because as you guys know, you guys are all over social media. There's so much of this on the internet. Like everyone's on the table, they're doing this, or they're in a cable machine. So I just show them, like, get your technique right. This is how we cut. This is a cup and top roll, the first 2 things I show everyone. Get that right, then we'll work on getting you strong. So then you can do the weights and the movements properly.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you hook or top roll, or a mixture of both? Or
I'm a top roller because I was too small for the heavyweight division. And, once you get the heavyweights and super heavyweights, you have to hook. It's the coolest thing ever. And any strongman comes in any video they watch, because hooking just looks cooler. It's just, now say hooking and not hookers, because, sometimes you can flick things off your dick with hookers. But with like top roll, because for me, it just surprises them, because they're like, oh, we're going into another hook. So I just come outside. I like to come outside, and a friend of mine who lives up north, his name's Pete. He started a new thing called Table IQ. He's using me as a guinea pig. I said, write me up a top roll program, because he loves sports science, and he's writing me up. So I'm starting that. So it'll be interesting to see from now till whenever, if my top roll's gotten stronger. But I'm just trying to hit your fingers. I can't hook to save myself. I can't even hook fishing. So do I even try and do it arm wrestling? Not at all.
I feel you there. See, I'm the opposite. I only hook. So
that's it. That's all you can do.
That's all I can do. I don't even try to top roll.
He tries. It's nothing there.
I've never even tried to top roll at all. I just always go into a hook.
Yeah.
So I just feel comfortable hooking for some reason.
Yeah, I load up like I'm gonna hook. I load up like I'm going, so I try and bluff them into it, and then it's just I just try and hit outside. I mean, in my mind, it's elite level, it's unreal. But then and then when the ready go happens, and I go, and then I'm pinned. It's like, oh, all right, I'll try something else.
Yeah. See, like we live in an area where we're very fortunate to have a lot of pullers.
Oh yeah.
In Pennsylvania, and we have, all the surrounding states have a lot of arm wrestlers. So there's a lot of big practices and big tournaments and events.
Yep.
Where like a lot of the country is more spread out.
Yeah, we're
definitely a prime area, in my opinion.
Here in where I live, we have a big club. We can get 40. We can get about 40 on a good night. Yeah. But then trying to organise tournaments and super matches, because that's another area I love going into. Trying to pair up styles and see if I've got a good eye for the sport. That can be an absolute nightmare. So we tried to organise something not that long ago, and I'll be like, all right, Ryan, I'm going to pair you up with. No, Ryan, do you want a super match? And I'm like, hell yeah. Yeah, we haven't pulled any yet. I want a super match. All right, Ryan, I'm going to, I think you'd work well with Warren. Oh, no, I can't make it. I've got to work that day. Oh my God, the nightmare of all of that. But no, I do love the club that I pull at. Andrew Leo, who runs our club, does it all for free, doesn't ask for anything, opens it up for us. But yeah, I want to compete. I just want it all to kick off.
Yeah,
it's coming. Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
And I want the borders to open up so I can come over and call one of your guys' events and jump on the tables and things like that. I want hurry up and open the borders for me.
I know, we're trying.
Yeah.
They tried to open the Capitol building yesterday.
Oh no, God.
Did you guys have like a padlock on the Capitol building? That was quite easy I could have broken into. Like,
I know. No comment. No.
Yeah. Let's stick to arm wrestling.
Yeah. Let's not swim in those waters.
Now, being from Australia, when you guys see stuff like that happening in America, like, what's your reaction? Like, are you guys just like, oh my God, what is going on over there?
That we're stupid.
Yeah, because most of us are embarrassed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like Australia try and be like America. Everything we do, we gotta try and be like America. We try and be like America, and then like I remember I've annoyed this one person for 4 years, right? So 4 years ago, Donald Trump became your president, and this person posted. She lives here, where I'm from. Posted a video of herself crying. Oh. This is the worst thing ever. Yeah. I can't believe this has happened. So I messaged her. How will this affect your life on the other side of the world? And every 2 to 3 months, I message this person for 4 years because I'm that immature. And just went, just checking in to see how your life's going, how it's affected you, because I bet you it hasn't, and things like that. So yeah, it's a real two-sided the coin thing. It's like, yeah, man, it's they're allowing social media to influence the world and things like that. It's so dumb. And then you've got the other side of the coin where they're like, oh my God, it's so horrible. This is really hitting me in my heart. So that's why when I jump on social media and see all my arm wrestling friends from all over the world just talking about arm wrestling and things like that, I'm like, yeah, these are my guys. This is my family. Yeah. This is so cool. They don't care about that. They'll post memes about it. These are my guys and girls. This is who I want to hang out with.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that's the best part about arm wrestling is everyone you meet is just someone you'd want to hang out with and have a beer with, or
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of guys that you're just like, wow, this guy's an asshole. Maybe maybe you'll meet like a handful out of 1,000 guys, you know?
And you'll learn that the more when you do more of these, I would always ask all my guests, like, who do you hate? What do you think of this guy? Hey, Ryan, what do you think of Warren? Warren's a really, really cool dude. Oh, okay. Well, what do you think of the Aussie Armwrestler? No, he's a nice guy. And like, no one, very rarely, there's anything bad about each other. It's unless it's my man Blue.
Blue gets a tough rap, man. I feel bad for him because I like what he's doing. And, you know, if he can turn that into a full-time job, all the power to him. You know?
It is full-time for him. And I spent the weekend with him about a month ago, and he is a genuine guy.
Yeah.
A genuine, good guy.
Yeah,
put me up at his house. Yeah. But that's what happens when you're in the 2%. So
absolutely, exactly.
Don't feel too bad for him.
Yeah, exactly. So being from Australia, do you have a different perspective of this whole Todd Hutchings, Lachlan Adair, Ryan Bowen threesome of whatever's going on?
Great. That's a great choice of words, my man.
Yeah. Thank you.
This double-ended dildo situation was perfect for me because by sheer coincidence, I had messaged Todd Hutchings, hey man, huge fan, do you want to come on the show? And this was on a Thursday. And he goes, haven't got time this week, let's do early next week. And I'm like,
sweet.
Tuesday, yep, no worries. Locked in. I wake up, I think it was Sunday or Monday morning, and the internet has blown up with this whole thing, and it's just gone way out of control. And then I had Todd on the show twice.
That's awesome.
Straight. So that was just gold for me. It wasn't, this is all kicked off. Let's see if Todd wants to go on the show. It was just pure luck for me. But yeah, it was when you start, because I, you know, as a sports junkie, I got the popcorn out and I sat there for a while and I read everything. And it was less Todd and Lockie going at it. They kind of stepped away from it and everyone else went in.
Oh, I know.
And it just went absolutely nuts. And I love banter. I mean, that's how I've made my whole stick. I love banter. I love trash talk in sports to a degree.
Right.
To a degree.
Yeah.
And being in wrestling and cutting promos and hitting people up, you know, talking to the crowd and things like that, I would make sure if I am saying anything derogative or things like that, it would be something that you can just laugh off. So the banter went too far for me. It went a bit too far, and that's got nothing to do with Todd or Lucky themselves. They're just both two competitors and both love saying. So what them two both said was fine in my thing. It was everyone else that took it too far. Trying to win an internet argument is the most impossible thing in the world. That's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube with your penis. It's impossible.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, so it was as a fan, it was interesting as hell. For my brand, it was perfect because I had Todd on at the right time.
Yeah.
But as a half decent guy, just some of the comments just went too far for me.
Yeah.
And that's just it.
And like, because I watch all of Ryan's stuff, and you know, Todd was there training with him, and they seemed like good buddies. And then somewhere it just kind of went out of whack, somewhat, you know. And I was like, what happened? There's not a whole lot on what exactly made them kind of not friendly anymore.
Yeah, so if you go back and look at it all, Ryan took a step back because he respects Todd. He still calls Todd a friend and things like that. And Todd was the same. And it just all came from I believe it was on the Fix or something like that. And Ryan, you know, as he does, he likes to he knows how to grasp people in. And he just said one day that he reckons Lachlan's at a stage now where he could beat Todd Hutchings, and that's all he said, you know, and along those lines. And Ryan has said, look, I've been coached by Todd, and I'm very grateful. But I believe, the student is now the master, along those terms. And that's all it was. And Todd jumped in with a bit of banter when it went a bit viral. And he jumped in with a bit of banter, and that was just was just fuel for everyone else. And everyone else found a side. And because Ryan is either the second or the most hated arm wrestler at the moment, people want to kick the boots in. And from what was a little bit of banter from a little bit of a fun on a talk show, just as the internet does what the internet does best and blow it out of proportion.
Yeah. Well, if Ryan's the second most hated arm wrestler right now, then who would be the first?
It's Michael Todd and his King's move. At the moment.
But
my 2021 prediction is that Ryan would become the most hated arm wrestler in the world this year. Now, Ryan knows how much I love him. I speak to Ryan on a weekly basis. And we don't even talk arm wrestlers, just check it in. Hey man, how are you and your lovely going? Vice versa.
Yeah.
But the internet hates him. And I sometimes get excited and I just watch everything he does. There's this one guy that automatically Ryan might put a video out for 15 minutes and he'll just launch it, and 40 seconds in, it's already got a thumbs down. There's just someone out there that always gives it a thumbs. But
boom.
Yeah, I think they hate him because he's a ginger. I think that's the only reason why.
No soul.
That's a part of it. And he hasn't got that.
No offense to Ryan if you hear this, buddy. It's just that people are hating on you for no fucking reason, if you ask me.
Oh, absolutely. It's a jealousy thing. It's because he hasn't got that arm wrestler look. It's because he makes outlandish things. But he's a smart guy. He is one of the hardest working people that I've ever come across. So we were at state titles. He had a super match. He got there early. He helped set up. He set up all of his equipment. He filmed. He had a super match. He stayed there for hours afterwards because everyone wanted to pull him afterwards. And he pulled just about every single person that wanted to pull him. And he stayed for a few beers and dinner. Then we went back to his house, myself and a couple of other pullers, because 3 of us stayed there, went to bed, and Ryan was up for the next 4 or 5 hours editing.
Wow.
See, go ahead.
I was just about to say, and he was awake before I was in the morning.
I was getting ready to say that you kind of basically described the Australian version of what we have here in the States by the guy named Paul Lynn. That's how Paul is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how Paul is.
And everyone likes Paul.
I know. He's nobody talks trash on Paul Lynn at all.
No, they can't. They just can't.
Yeah. He's too nice.
I've tried, and I tell him all the time. I said, I try, but you're just too nice.
He looks like he'd be a pit bull.
He's like, dude, I can't even say you're too nice.
Yeah. He looks like he'd be like a mean little pit bull, but he's not. He's not. He's like a little teddy bear.
Fun guy, cool
Great
dude.
Guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Got plenty of time for Paul, and he's from your area, isn't he?
Yeah.
Cool dude. Got all the time in the world for him as well. He was one of my first guests. When not too many people were knowing what I was doing, and gave up his time. And the show goes for an hour, and we spoke for 2 or 3 hours. He was sitting in his car, and he was at work and things like that. And and he's just a cool guy, and he's always, if you get in his thing, he's always happy to promote you. He's always happy.
He's one of our biggest supporters. Yeah. He's helped us out tremendously, and he's always pushing us to keep doing it.
Yeah. And that's why the fact that I'm on the show and not Paul Lynn, that's why I'm very, very humbled and very honoured, because Paul, in a drop of the hat, not a problem, would have been your first guest easy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
He might be too advanced for our show. He might be in that 2%.
He's in that 2%, isn't he?
He's out.
He's up there. He's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I have the privilege and to call him my coach and my mentor. So he's So I live literally just minutes away from him.
Oh, beautiful.
I know it's glorious. It's fucking glorious. Like I love it.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
You'd think you'd be better then.
I am actually. I am actually getting better. Thank you.
No.
Why do you think I keep going back to practice to get better?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would be all right at arm wrestling if I wasn't shit. That's probably at the status that I'm at
That's why I call myself the worst arm wrestler in the
at
world.
the moment.
I figure if I lose, everybody will just be like, "Oh, he's the worst. It's no big deal." But if I win, that's embarrassing for the other guy.
Yeah, Jake. Before we end this this interview tonight, I need you to do me and Ryan a favor, and I need you to look Ryan dead in his face and call him the worst arm wrestler in the world with a ready bang.
Absolutely. Whenever you want that now, you want that now.
We can do it now. It'd be
whenever
great.
you want.
You just tell me, guys, and I will absolutely do it. That's not a problem.
Jake, do your thing, buddy.
Ryan, mate, you are the worst arm wrestler in the world. Ready, bang!
Perfect.
Beautiful.
That's great.
I loved it.
It's pretty accurate. It's
Thank
pretty
you, sir.
accurate.
That was great.
So, do you want to just throw out, like plug yourself, plug your channel, plug what you're doing on our podcast?
No. Guys, if anyone is watching this, go and support the 98, the other 98%. You have no idea the work these guys are doing. You have no idea the research and things like that. They are having more of an impact on the arm wrestling community than you think. And if you are a part of us that are the 98%, you don't have to be famous. You don't have to have a huge social media following, but support these guys. Support these guys. They're doing a great thing. They've found something cool. That's what I don't want to plug me. I'm just honored to be on the show. I want everyone to really get behind this. I think it can be great. I think it can be. I think it works. I think it works, and you're really helping. For some people that might think that they would never ever get on an arm wrestling podcast show, you are definitely reaching out to them. Yes, you're going to have some of the 2% in the show. Of course you are, because this worked. It's a great concept. But guys, really just pin that subscribe button, help these guys out, follow and like. Even if you scroll past and don't want to check out their photos or anything, just hit a like button. Just do something to keep it ticking. These guys are doing something really good here, and I absolutely love that I've been on the show.
Well, we appreciate that.
Thank you very much,
and
man.
We'll definitely post like a link to your stuff underneath this video and everything. And I'm always telling people to go watch your videos or sharing them and sending them out.
I share your videos often.
Yeah. I see. So I see some of it on Instagram. It doesn't show me showing and things like that. But every time I look, you two are one of the first that are liking it or commenting or things like that. So when you guys were asking for me to come on the show, absolutely, you guys have been huge supporters. And now that we've met and had a beer or a Gatorade, I call you guys my friends and things like that. So it's I'm very, very grateful for what you guys have done, because when I was just punching out a couple of videos, early on, I might have had 10 subscribers or 10 people follow me on Instagram or something like that. You were one of those guys. So I'm very, very thankful for what you guys have been doing, being almost a foundation member of what I'm doing.
We love what you're doing.
We absolutely love it. That's why we support it.
Now, did you start off in a different direction, and then like how did it get to where it is now? Did it just happen naturally?
Yeah. So I thought we had end of 2019 we had our nationals, and I thought it was an awesome day, and I thought, beauty. All right, 2020 nationals. I'm gonna dominate. This is how we're gonna go. So I started this whole arm wrestling social media thing to show everyone my journey from one national competition to another. And then I was at work one morning and my brother messaged me. Actually, if you guys like old school gaming, retro Ryster, old school gaming, like we're just some old school Karate Kid, you know, as we mentioned before. He does some cool videos on the internet with old school gaming. But so my brother, he's my older brother, messaged me and he goes, "Why don't you commentate videos?" Like, man, I'd love to. I love commentating. You know, I used to pretend to commentate games when I was younger. I said, I just don't have the equipment. So anyway, I'm at work and I get a message. And he goes, "Man, check this out. I did this while taking a shit." And he showed me and he commentated an arm wrestling match. So I was like, oh, okay. Oh, cool. So I worked out how to do it. And then I thought, well, I'll give it a go. I'll put it out there. No worries. And I was very analytical, very statistic. Oh, and if you watch here, you know, Warren will come in over the top, he'll curl in, he's going to pull back and open Ryan's arm up and things like that. And then one match, I commented on someone in the crowd and just told them to calm down. It was like my 4th or 5th video. Calm down there in the crowd, something like that. And it blew up. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, that was so funny. That was hilarious." So then I thought, you know, I enjoy making people laugh, so I thought I'd keep going that way. Then I threw in, like, I don't swear too, like in Australia, we swear quite a lot. I'm teaching myself not to swear, as you've seen the last however long we've been on, an hour and a half. I don't swear, but I thought I'll chuck in the F word and I'll see what the arm wrestling community goes. So it'd be like, you know, "Oh, the world's best arm wrestler comes in and he just smokes Warren," and things like that. And then that blew up. And I think it was like my 4th or 5th video, just a natural reaction. So when we watch Aussie rules football and someone goes running in and they kick a goal, or two blokes run and they collide, the natural thing we yell out is bang. So, you know, Warren, you come running in and you bang, you know, and you run straight into Ryan and you just clean him up and off you go and kick a goal, or you turn around and bang and oh, beautiful. So then that just naturally came because it's like ready, go. So then that's how the ready, bang came in, because that's probably the most explosive moment of an arm wrestling match. And then it was about 10 or 15 videos in that I realized I was doing it every video. And I was like, oh, well, you know.
That'll be your thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and being a huge wrestling fan, wrestlers have their catchphrases that catch on. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and it's pretty cool, man. Like, when like I'll wake up and obviously I'm grateful that they've got fans everywhere. So I'll wake up and I have messages of people are at training and things like that, and they'll show me videos, or they're like, "Oh, here's this, go, you should call this and call that," you know. So someone sent me a video of I think it was mice running in a wheel. "Oh, if you could commentate that for my wife, she'd love it." And I'm like, "Yeah, all right." So I'm trying to commentate mice running in a wheel, and but the people, you know, doing my catchphrases at their practices or at their tournaments, you know, it's you know, just from a guy from Southeast Melbourne in Australia that, you know, is just hanging out. It's so cool. It's so humbling.
Yeah, I was gonna say humbling's definitely got to be the word, humbling for sure. That's, you got to feel that. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it really is, because it's it's hard to put it. It's not as exciting, like, you know, trying to be up myself and like, oh, of course everyone's doing it. I'm the man. I'm just not that guy. So yeah, you know, and every time, like when you guys messaged me, I was like, oh my God, I was like, oh shit, because I was at work when you were messaging me, Ryan, and I was like screenshotting and showing my wife. I was like, oh, you're not gonna believe it. These guys wanted me to be on their show. Like, how cool's that? And you know, my poor wife has to listen about arm wrestling all the time. But yeah, I just find this whole persona of the Aussie Arm Wrestler thing. I love being the Aussie Arm Wrestler because it's me. I love giving the Aussie Arm Wrestler to the arm wrestling community, and I am so grateful that people have accepted the Aussie Armwrestler.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, we love you, man. Absolutely. Like,
When I watch an arm
I love-
wrestling
I love
match
your photos.
that you are not commenting, I hear Ready Bang in my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn
Ready,
it. Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, yes.
Now,
That's so cool.
Since you're a Karate Kid fan, have you been watching Cobra Kai?
I was watching Cobra Kai before Cobra Kai was cool. I bought YouTube Premium. That is one of the best television shows going around. It is done so good.
Yeah.
And I love that they, you know, take the Mickey out of themselves and they give it to PC culture a bit, you know, in their early seasons. I think it's such a great show because everyone was committed. You got the Ralph Macchio, William Zabka, you got the original Daniel and the original Johnny Lawrence. I love that they reference pop culture in there. So like that famous video that some guy made that Daniel's the real bully.
Yeah.
You know, they acknowledged that in season 3 early on. The only thing I'm worried about is now Netflix owns it.
Yeah.
They're very PC type thing. So I'm worried season 4's because season 3 was filmed beforehand. And I'm worried seasons 4. Every time I watch it, I got to put my Cobra Kai shirt on.
Yeah. My license plate on my truck says Cobra Kai.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
I'll send you a picture of it.
Yes.
That's
That
awesome.
is cool. Yes.
Because I did the same thing. I got YouTube Premiums or Red or whatever it was at the time, so that I could watch it because I have to see this, and I loved it.
Loved it, and I go to my brother's house, one of my brother's house, and we watch it all the time. You know, the first 2 seasons we've watched countless amount of times, and then we come up with our own theories, or we'll just like tease them and things like that. It's such a cool show, and I just hope they don't ruin it.
Are you all caught up on it?
Yeah. Oh, mate, as soon as it
What
came
did you
out,
think of the ending?
I thought it was great. Spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't watched it.
Yeah, no kidding.
I loved it when they were doing the flashbacks and you saw ponytail guy, and you're like, that's Terry Silver, that's Terry Silver, that's Terry Silver. And then it was that guy over
That's
there.
That's what I thought too.
What?
Yeah. That kind of threw me for a loop too.
Oh, that was a good swerve.
And then at the end, Kreese is calling him on the phone.
Yeah.
So that's going to be
because
interesting.
I thought Terry Silver was going to come back season 3 and then maybe Mike Barnes season 4. But I think Johnny Lawrence's kid's going to be the new Mike Barnes. So I don't think Mike Barnes will come back. But Terry Silver, well, clearly he has to now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if they write some other character in, that's my only concern because you never mention his name. So I'm a bit concerned of that. But I thought it was cool. Spew and Stingray wasn't in season 3. He's one of my favorite characters, man, if not my favorite. I was spewing about that. But I thought season 3 was cool. Kids, it was like the fight scenes are really cool. But like they're committing crimes. Yeah. They're breaking into people's houses and things like that. Like, why isn't anyone calling the police? Or like at the end, they're ready to stab each other with size and that. They're throwing each other through windows and they're all bloodied up, ready to kill each other. And they're like, wait, tournament. And it's like, I said this in an under 18s karate tournament. We've almost killed each other.
Yeah. Like whenever these crazy fights happen, there's just no parents around, Yeah. It's just like a free-for-all.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, if kids were going around smashing windows at my house, my neighbors would be calling the police.
Something.
Guys,
right.
Like, party gone wild.
That's funny. Yeah, that is a great show. I'm glad.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I haven't watched it yet. So
you're missing out, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. I'm too busy. Like I'm busy. Like I'm doing shit.
How do we kick someone out of the chat? How do we kick someone out?
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not the host, Jake.
Well, if he keeps training with Paul, he's going to be kicked out because he's going to be a 2%er.
Yeah,
Oh.
yuck. Even 2% milk's yuck, so don't be a 2%er.
We've had a few people, a few 2%ers. We started like a Facebook group, and we've had a few 2%ers end up in there, and we booted them out.
Good. Yeah, that Facebook group's cool. Who's snuck in?
Someone invited Todd in there. Paul was in there for like a day, but everybody's been kicking all the 2%ers out. So
Good.
But
Good.
I think Mike Aiello's in there.
Yeah.
So
he's a 2%er.
People must be debating whether he is or not.
He's 100% a 2%er.
Oh, absolutely.
Which makes no sense, but
Yeah.
And he's a fun guy. He's a funny dude, that guy.
Oh, fun. Absolutely. Yeah.
I owe Mike Aiello a lot because I'm not big on this technology thing, and I finally worked out what a VPN can do. Hence why I can talk to you guys, because in Zoom, I can't call America. So my first guest was Ryan, so we did the Zoom thing. My second guest was Mike Aiello. He was like, awesome, big fan, let's go. We're on. So I do it. We somehow end up, I think I Facebook video called him, but it wasn't working on my recording program, and I panicked and run around. I'm like, I think I've worked it out. Let's go. Anyway, we had this awesome interview, banter to the nines. Mike, so much fun, and it didn't record. And it didn't record. So every time now when I'm, doing a show, that's why, like, you'll see me look down and I'm just double checking at the recording and things like that.
That's why I keep looking up. I keep looking at the recording button.
Yeah, I know.
It's still red, thank God.
Yeah. So I call it the Mike Aiello effect, and apologize to him, and he's going to come back on the show, in due time, because we speak frequently, because his memes are just hilarious. But
oh my God.
Is that what you use? Do you use Zoom to do yours?
Well, I'll probably start now. I've been doing. Well, I started off any international guests with either Facebook and then moved to Skype. I used Skype this morning because that tends to work. But now that I'm pretty confident in my VPN, it's worked a few times now, and this seems to be just going smoothly. Then I quite like the Zoom format.
Yeah, it's real easy. Do you do all your own editing too, right?
Yeah, try to. Podcasts are real easy. I don't edit podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's try and have this time frame, and I'll chuck me a little intro, because my mate he's a very good friend of mine. I'm actually hosting his wedding. I'm the MC at his wedding.
Nice.
In March. Yeah, love hosting weddings, and he made the intro music for me, which was cool.
That's
and
cool.
I just do all my basic editing and things like that. So
that's cool. It takes some getting used to.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I messed up. I had a real easy editor at first, and then I went out and got like Premiere Pro. Now I'm lost. Now I'm just lost. Like, people make movies with that shit, and now I'm just like, what am I going to do with this? There's too many options.
There's so much going on.
Now, I have to relearn this whole thing, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, man. Just like Nike, just keep it simple. They're billionaires off a tick. You don't have to. You don't have to do too much. And with the podcast format, I mean, if you look at Neil Pick Up in the Fix, or he's deep inside. There's no editing. Yeah. It's just like, boom, there you go. Here's us having a chat. And that's something that us arm wrestling fans like. When I make my smaller videos, that's when I do a lot more editing and things like that. But that's when I jump on my little program here, it's like, oh man, I'm just going to stick to what I know. So some of my edits are relatively the same, where someone's name comes up the bottom or something like that. Because I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll just go from there.
Yeah. See, like we don't really have a set logo yet like you do. You know what I mean? We're still toying around with things. And
yeah, well, mine's changed a few times.
Yeah.
I didn't have one to start with, and then I was just on apps playing around with things.
Yeah.
Then I got Hector Beltrain.
Oh,
I think his name is.
Yeah.
I thought, he does like a lot of the Simpsons characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, man, can you do me one of those? And he doesn't ask for a particular price. He's just like, pay me what you think, you know. So he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
So he did my Simpsons logo, and I had that for a while. And then I was like, all right, well, more people, you know, it'll just progress. Just because your first logo, it doesn't mean it has to keep, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then I just spoke to him. He was like, hey, man, can you do this? And he did this logo,
Nice.
which I think is pretty cool at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's working for me in the meantime. But like everything, and you guys know, when you know, things just progress with time. They just change.
Yeah.
They change with us. What worked 6 months ago, you know, in 6 months, people might hate all your resistance bands. They're like, man, give it up with the bands. And then you've got to have, you know, too many fat grips. You know, and you've got fat grips upon fat grips and you're stuck out here trying to do a curl.
Yeah.
And you'll see that.
Yep, exactly. It's a slow progression.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't mind climbing the mountain. I like it. So.
Yeah, it's been fun. Just
absolutely.
All we do is fool around all day. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
What a horrible way to live a life.
Nothing to it.
You know what I mean? How good is it?
Yeah.
This is my second podcast for the day, and I'm just very grateful that I've found people that want to talk all day about our unique sport that not many people like. You know, I love talking sports with all my mates, but then as soon as I bring up arm wrestling, they're just like, "Oh, Jake, shut up." You know, and things like that.
Nobody understands.
Nobody
unless
gets it.
They arm wrestle.
Yeah. You know, I was gonna say, Ryan, that the meme I made. Why do you arm wrestle? You wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't get it.
Right. Well, we absolutely appreciate you coming on here because
thank you, Jake, very much.
Yeah, like that's huge to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very even that sounds weird because I'm no different to you guys. I will come on anytime. You know, if you have gaps and need to fill it in, you just message me and we'll work out a time. I will be more than happy to come on. You know,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
because we're thinking about doing a little spoof of Neil Pickup's setup with 4 guys on.
Yeah.
And just kind of troll them a little bit.
We should talk offline. We should talk off podcast.
yeah. It's top secret.
This is top secret shit right here. We'll start a group chat on that. We'll start a group chat on Messenger. We got this.
That's good, mate. Get me in that chat, and we can absolutely have a talk. I'm more than happy to help out. And like I said at the start, and I've probably said 100 times throughout this show, very, very grateful out of anyone that you could have asked, anyone that you have wanted. I am over the moon. Yeah, love that. You know, that you think that I'm the one that can set the benchmark, and that I was the one that you wanted on first when other people have agreed and things like that. So loved it, having so much fun.
We thought for sure you'd be the most fun out of all the people.
Yeah, that was definite.
For sure.
That was definite. Yeah, when he said he talked to you and you agreed, I said, "Oh man, that's going to be a fun show. That's good."
Well, hopefully I haven't disappointed you guys. That's for sure.
When I told him that you agreed to come on, that's when Warren asked if he could be a co-host.
That's exactly right.
Because he knew you were going to come on, and he was like, "Can I co-host?" I was like, "Sure."
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Taking your opportunity. Absolutely. I would have done the same. I did the same. I love Neil Pickup. Neil knows I love Neil Pickup.
Yeah.
My ultimate goal is to sit next to Neil and call an event. That's my ultimate goal. So when TV were doing their 24-hour thing and I was invited on and we chatted for ages,
Yeah.
I got up one morning and they were still going, which was awesome. Gary and Uncle John, quality guys. And Neil was on there. So I jumped in the live chat. Hey, morning, guys. Morning from Australia. Bang, you know. And then Brad Cook, great. He's another great guy as well. He was like, oh, come back on. You know, come back in, Jake. And it's like, oh, man, only if they let me. And I'm like, messaged Uncle John. It's like, mate, send me the link. I'm coming back in because I just wanted to meet Neil.
Yeah.
I just wanted to meet Neil. We've messaged each other, and you know, he's been very grateful and saying nice things about me on his show. And I was the same. I was like, I'm getting back in. I was like, babe, sorry, I want to go meet Neil.
This is highly important.
That's too funny. Those guys are great too. They shout people out all the time. Like they talked about us.
Yeah.
Paul brought us
Saw
up.
that,
I was
man.
like, that's awesome.
Saw that.
Feels
that's
crazy.
so cool. And that's what I love about the arm wrestling community. I think that's just so good that the
amount of support that everyone shows for each other is it's amazing. It really is. Because I mean, they're not gonna. There's people out there that might not do that. You know what I mean? But this community is like abundant with the amount of people that are just like, well, let me show you this, or whether you're at a practice or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Like just the support system, like foundation is just firm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My opinion.
They're cool as, man, because, you know, if all these podcasts blow up and we're all, you know, making money or getting the eyes on you know, or we're getting plenty of eyes on our shows, then, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's only going to benefit the 2%ers as well. So.
Yeah, true. And they're very supportive of growing the sport. So they've always said nice things about guys like you and us, and, you know, just because they know that it's going to grow the sport.
Yeah.
In the future, which is the goal, really.
We need to get it back. We need to get it back in the Olympics, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Tell everyone to get off the steroids if you want to get back in the Olympics. Yeah, that's the only reason. That's the only reason we're not in the Olympics.
Yeah,
the only reason.
Yeah, it's shitty. It's true. You got to be all natty.
Yeah, but going back to that, you know, everyone helping each other out, and it's funny and a nice little funny story. You know, I at the moment need other people's content to commentate matches, and you know, I always try and be respectful. Hey, got this content off the world's worst arm wrestler. You know, got this content off the other 98%. To tag them and make sure let everyone know that, you know, this isn't my content. It's my voice. Anyway, I got a message from Jamie from the WAL. Steve Cutler wants your email address. Well, it's been a good run. It's been a good run. I sent him my email address. Anyway, I get this thing. Steve Catlin, WAL. Thought, oh no, I don't have money for legal battles. I thought, oh no. Anyway, Steve Catlin, he sent an email. I open it up. Love your commentary. Love your clips. And we had a big conversation. And I was like, oh my God, I really thought I was getting a cease and desist letter. I thought, you know, I literally, before I opened the email, I told my wife, I said, arm wrestling commentating thing's over. That's all right. I'll just get stronger and I'll try and be a top puller. And then, yeah, he's like, oh, love the commentary. I was like, oh, we're on here.
Yeah.
Bang, we're on.
Yeah, that's a bang.
That's definitely.
So could there be a future of us seeing you at a WAL match calling the shots?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if the borders ever open up, I will. So this is nothing from Steve. Steve, when he sent me this email early on, enjoys what I do. There was a lot of swearing in what I was doing. So anything that goes on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't like swearing. I've honed that off. I'll chuck it in a little bit on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I'm honing off. But that is my ultimate goal. I believe if I can get the support from 100%, not only the 98% that have supported us really well, and the 2% that have been, very great to come on the show. I believe if people speak loud enough, I believe I can be in the chair. And it might only be for one show, it might only be for one match, but I genuinely believe, and that is my goal, that I will be sitting next to Neil. No one's replacing Neil, and I'm happy to play second fiddle to Neil. But when it comes to quick wit, commentating and things like that, I will slowly work my way up to match him and things like that. Neil is the guy. I'm not after Neil's spot. I want to work with Neil, and I full-heartedly believe that WAR will have a ready bang at one of their matches.
Nice. Well,
Nice.
we fully support that, and hopefully the other 98% will too.
The other 98% have been fantastic, and I hope they get behind you guys as well. Because without the 98%, there's no Aussie Armwrestler without the other 98%. Because it was the other 98% that got behind me early for the 2% to go, oh yeah, cool, to make some noise.
Yeah.
So I will always be grateful in supporting the other 98%.
And those 2% were here at one point,
Yeah.
They were 98ers at one point.
That's right. We all start somewhere,
Yeah.
There was at one stage where I looked up and I had 10 followers and 2 subscribers and things like that. But I had 10 followers and I was like, I'm going to entertain the crap out of these 10 people. These 10 people want to get on board. I'm going to show them something good. And that's just how it all grows.
Yeah. I showed my wife when I hit 25 followers on YouTube, and I said, I'm quitting my job. And she looked at me like I was an idiot. She's like, no. She doesn't find me funny at all. She thinks I'm just a big idiot, basically. She sees my band videos and she's just like,
You're an idiot.
You do that? Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Pretty much.
Show her all the comments. What's your beautiful wife's name?
Jen.
Jen?
Yeah.
Jen. I want you to look. I want you to listen. This is coming from the other side of the world. You're a beautiful woman, Jen, but what you need to understand, if you want your marriage to be really, really good, you've got to understand your husband is funny. Your husband is funny. He has found something that works and it tickles the arm wrestling world's funny bone. And I hope after 10 or 20 episodes of this podcast, Ryan, you do a whole shtick of people laughing at what you say and then show that beautiful wife of yours.
I was
Please
thinking,
don't hate me, Jen.
well, we were thinking, how you called me the worst arm wrestler in the world? We were thinking of having every guest do that and then do a whole video of every guest just saying that I'm the worst arm wrestler in the world.
Worst arm wrestler in the world, like just a whole,
just over and over, different people saying it.
100% do it. I have two things. I have 2 things on mine. I have a beer with everyone, with every guest I have on the show, because for me as a sports fan, if nothing comes of this, I've had a beer with a whole heap of arm wrestlers. I've had a beer with Ron Barth.
All over the world,
And the second thing I do is I get people to nominate someone to come on the show and give me their best Ready Bang impersonation at the end of the show. So absolutely get everyone to look in the camera and call you the worst arm wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
Do it, man. So 2 seconds, people would love it. And you'll see everyone's different, unique style of doing it. I would run with it. Absolutely run with it.
Speaking of Ron Bath, just because you brought it up, we had the pleasure of meeting him, and in person, he's a monster. But on TV, he doesn't look so big because he's around other monsters.
Yeah.
But when I saw him in person, I was like, oh my God, he is massive.
He's jacked.
He's a big, strong man.
He is jacked.
I hope to meet Ron Bubblebath one day.
Yeah.
He is, yeah, he looks,
He's in good shape.
he's a lot bigger than what he is on photos and videos.
Yeah.
I've been watching that guy for years.
Like, I just always thought he was smaller just because he looked smaller compared to the people he was pulling.
Yeah.
But it's because they're even bigger. You know? It's crazy.
How tall is Ron Bubb?
Oh, geez. I don't know for sure, but he's over 6 feet tall easily.
Oh, okay.
He's got to be 6'2".
At least. Yeah.
Because, I mean, he was pretty close to my height when we had that picture taken together. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't realize he was that tall. There you go.
Yeah.
The monster, Ron Bubblebath.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Cool dude as well.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you all day. You still have daylight, and we're like getting ready for bed here soon. But thank you so much for coming on, and we appreciate it, and we'll continue to support you. And we'll definitely throw some links to your channel and your Instagram and everything down below. And we look forward to seeing what you come out with, because as you know, we're always like the first ones to try to comment on it.
Yeah, you guys are great. And if nothing comes of this, you'll always have one fan at least for what you guys are doing, and that's myself. So yeah, definitely rating what you are doing. And if you can slide into other pullers' wife's DMs, and still rate that. Still my favorite bit. I'm gonna have a laugh with my wife about it. She'll show me all the messages now. So yeah.
Well, tell her we said thank you for being so cool about that.
Oh, of course, man.
That was great.
Of course. Anyone that's not, you guys, you know, you're all about having a laugh and talking arm wrestling. You know what I mean? And if you throw in a nude, that's all right, you know.
That's Warren's department.
Reason why Ryan's the one that contacts the wives is because he has a wife. I'm the single one. It'll look way weird if I do.
I'm not a threat to anybody. On the arm wrestling table too, you know.
Guys, I had an absolute blast. I had so much fun. It was so good meeting you both. Now, yeah, really appreciate you asking, and thanks for having me on.
No problem, man.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Give us a ready bang.
Ready, bang.
Ready, bang!
Yeah. See you later.
Take it easy, Jake.